We're going to fill it out at the gas station, unleaded fuel. And down below here, got your dump station. And this is where you hook your power cord to. It is a 30 amp service. And it does look similar like a 3-prong dryer plug. The dryers are usually 220, this is strictly 110. So you don't want to use a dryer outlet actually. Gray valve, black valve. Hook that up, hook your hose up over to the dump station.
The hose is in one of these compartments somewhere, right?
You may need to get one yet.
Oh, okay.
Usually we don't come with a sewer hose.
You said it usually doesn't come with one?
No, that's normally something like the user would buy separately. Sometimes with the used units, they do leave them in there. I'm not seeing one in there right offhand. You turn your propane on and off right here. That's off. That's on. It's just the rocker switch.
All right.
You got outside shower here, both hot and cold water. Cable TV hookup. And your city water connection. There's a pressure regulator on that. Regulates it to about 50 psi, 45 psi. Just make sure you don't get too much water into too much water pressure into the turret and start blowing lines apart.
Now, if I were to get a surge protector, where would I put it? Where would I hook it up?
They depends what type he gets. They do have kind you like wire in permanently, and you'd probably put that someplace inside and be like before the converter. Otherwise, you'd probably just get like a 30 amp one where basically you plug into the outlet and then you plug the cord into that.
Oh, okay, okay. All right, got it.
I don't know if I mentioned, you do want to, after you hook your hose up, you want to drain your black first. Once that's done, shut it off, then drain your gray. That'll kind of rinse the hose out for you.
All right. Black, then gray first. Got it.
You got the spare tire back here. This panel is just one of your tanks, and they got all the sensors just covered down there. I'm not sure why. I think they're just getting all the wires out of the way. Really nothing you should need to do in there. This is the outside of your refrigerator, and actually there's nothing you need to really do in here. You do want to make sure this hose sticks out. That's your condensation hose. So if you get like any frost buildup in the refrigerator, when that starts melting, it'll come out this hose.
Does the filter need to be changed ever so often?
There is actually no filter on this one.
Oh, okay. Well, that's great.
It does plug into 110 here and takes propane, so it runs off 110 or propane.
And there's a switch inside for that.
Correct.
All right.
And I'll show you all that. I actually have it on right now. So you might want to come in once or twice a year, just kind of blow it out, make sure there's no critters building a nest, things like that in there. And like I said, you do want to make sure this hose sticks out. And you just give it a little 90-degree twist that locks it in. You got a couple 110 outlets out here. Right here, 751 feet. This is where you fill your freshwater tank at. Just stick the hose in, turn it on. You can either watch the monitor panel, or once it starts running out, you're full.
Okay.
This is the tankless water heater. It does turn on and off right here. And there's a control at the bathroom to set the temperature at. Basically, it only runs when you turn the hot water on.
Right.
And these just sit on a couple little tabs there. Push that through, pull that out, and give it a little twist.
So there's no condensation hose for this one up here. That was just what, intake?
That's just the top vent that pulls in air out here and pulls it through there.
Okay, got it.
I'm not sure why they didn't put a roof vent instead of the side vent on this model, but that's what they went with. So, I think this is just more storage. Yeah. You got a jack and your lug wrench and all that good stuff down there. And that's just more storage up in there too. And I'll show you the awning here. The switch for the awning is right here. You got to turn it on and just hit extend.
I like that it doesn't have the side ones, the side bars. The bars are up there on the actual canvas. I like that.
It's actually all the way out right there. You do got to watch these in the wind. Starts getting a little gusty-ish. You do want to put them away.
Does this have an automatic sensor?
I don't believe this one does.
Cause yeah, no, yeah, it
Yeah,
does.
it does. Okay.
Nice. Okay.
But normally when you want to put it away, you just hit the reverse button, retract it in.
All right, so we're going up in here, right?
All right, there's 2 batteries under the steps.
Okay.
They are Group 24 sealed batteries, so you don't even have to check the fluid in them. And they are brand new.
Yeah, I heard that. Yeah.
So it's got 2 brand new batteries in there for you. After you. You do have a breaker panel right inside the door here on your 110, and it's kind of labeled what everything is. Main, microwave, rear plug, entertainment center, and so forth. You got some lights here. Now you can actually turn these blue lights on and off, or your back panel lights. I prefer mine because it's really hard to tell what's on and off with them off. So I suggest just leaving the blue lights on.
Okay.
You got a master lights here. You can actually turn every light on the trailer on and off. Here's your porch lights. Entry light, we're actually turning it back off because we're on already. And then the living room lights. And valance up there in front. And that's all of those. I've got this TV on already. It works, this Blu-ray player works with that. Both of these are run off of this inverter. There's a switch right on the front of it to turn it on and off. This little rocker switch right there.
Okay. See it?
I guess technically you could just leave it on and work the
Just turn it on and off.
turn it on and off with the
With
TV.
the remote, and the remote is.
Over here. And this one happens to actually be a Vizio also. And it's only got the one remote for some reason, but I have been actually covering this one up when you want to change that station, all the way they both change.
Oh, okay. So it works both of them.
It works
All
both
right.
TVs, yes.
Got it. And that's for the Blu-ray. What?
It works for the Blu-ray player there, yes.
All right.
And we're currently at a kind of crummy TV signal there. Your antenna booster is right down in here. The antenna is actually, now your antenna booster is on. You want this one on and this one in conjunction with it. And you probably won't even have to directionalize this. This will actually turn that TV antenna up there. The arrow here is like the forward position.
All right. I'm not a big TV watcher anyway, so you know.
But as long as this is on and that is on, you get the digital signals over the air. That's actually right over the air,
Right.
and it comes in pretty good.
Yeah. These TVs
And you
are
can
nice.
actually change this. You want as many lights as you can. That'll actually like adjust the strength. We do got a fire extinguisher down there, which is good. Smoke detector up here.
Is there anything down here in this cabinet?
Just more
The
storage.
storage? Great. All right.
Smoke detector up there. Yeah, pretty much a basic sink. That'll pull out. And you can hear the hot water heater running.
The tanks are already full.
Right up here is your monitor panel and all this stuff.
Same one as down here, right? Oh, but it's got other things.
So
Water
this
pump,
is actually your
generator.
monitor panel. Your fresh tank is on the top here. Right now that's about 2/3 full. Gray tank is in the middle. That one is empty. The black tank is on the bottom, and that one is actually empty. Showing your LPs, got about 40% in it. I think it's actually a little bit higher. Batteries are 13.5 volts. And generator's not actually on yet. When you do start your generator, you're probably going to want to turn your AC off so you don't start it up under load.
Right.
And that's the on-off switch for that right there. You can start and stop the generator from in here.
So before the generator was on, this was being run by the batteries or by the LP?
We're plugged into the wall one time.
Oh, okay. We still plugged in.
Right.
Got it.
So we've actually already, well, I think the transfer switch is pretty quick in this one, so we should be on generator already. And then we can turn that back on. There might be a little bit of delay on that. The generator is actually pretty quiet. Furnace right here. That is actually all the way off. It actually came on. It's cool enough in here to come on. And that's your furnace right there. I don't know that we need furnace right now. You got a turntable microwave, and it's convection also. Instructions for it are in there. And they do work good. The stove here, it's just a 2-burner cooktop. Turn it over to light, push that down, and just give it a click. Hold it for a second until the thermocouple heats up and it should stay on. Same with this side. And then it stays on.
It's just like a grill. Yep.
Basically, that's what it is a grill, basically. Refrigerator back here. Right now I'm in the auto position. It looks for 110 volts first. Someone comes by, kicks your cord out, power failure, whatever. It'll automatically switch over to propane, providing propane's turned on. If you want to run it strictly on propane, that button will be popped out. There's nothing to actually tell you that it's running on propane. It'll try and light 3 times, however. If it doesn't light in that 3 times, this light will come on and stay on, saying it did not light.
Okay.
So if you see that light, it means it did not light. Normally all I gotta do is just turn it off, turn it back on, and it should fire right up. Or leave it in auto and it'll be signed on its own. It's actually already getting fairly cold. It's only been on since 7:30, quarter to 8-ish. There is a slight temperature setting in here. Moving that up will make it a little colder. Down will make it warmer.
Oh, that little slide thing?
You do want to make sure that stays on the end fin. That's the thermistor. That's where it takes its temperature from.
Okay.
LP and CO detector down there. It's a combination.
I'm sorry, what?
The black thing or the brown thing on the wall there with the green light, it's a combination LP CO detector. So if you have an LP leak or too much CO in here, that'll go off. Sounds similar like the smoke alarm.
Is it a carbon monoxide
Right.
too?
CO.
Okay, okay. Oh, that's right. Okay.
Lights in here. You can also turn your water pump on and off from in here. And in the bathroom lights. You got your vanity mirror here. And you got the fancy sink in this one. And you can hear your hot water thing running out there. Right here is the adjustment for it. I find if you leave it right about in the center,
It doesn't get too hot.
it shouldn't get too hot, too cold for you. You do want to kind of adjust it a little bit with the cold water also. But I think if you turn them up too much, it doesn't seem to work right. And of course, if you turn it down too low, it doesn't seem to work right.
Yeah.
I've noticed right about the center seems to work pretty close about the best for these. We got a 110 outlet in here. Pretty much a standard RV shower. This one doesn't actually have the shutoff head. It does have It's kind of like a, I guess like a shower massage head. And then of course you can adjust that up and down, and this will adjust that way as well.
The toilet, yeah.
Alright. This one here, just put press just the hair, it'll put some water in. All the way flushes and puts water in. You do want to run your chemicals in there to kind of help control odor and breakdown. You don't necessarily have to have RV paper, but you're doing something more biodegradable. Usually as long as it's safe for septic tanks, it should be alright in here. You want to stay away from like the colorants and the perfumes and things like that. They tend not to break down and stick to the sensors. That's when you start getting like all your false readings and stuff.
And you'll give me a list of what chemicals that I need to, you know, put in there? Because I don't know.
There are so many. It's more of a personal preference. We do.
Well,
we kind of recommend
called,
the Thetford chemicals, basically. They seem to work out the best. But like I said, it's kind of a personal preference. And here, you got your table and the 2 pedestals. These just sit down in there and give it. Sit down in there, give it a twist, that locks them down, and the table just sits on it.
Oh, it just, down on top. Okay.
And then this black piece in here.
Stair cover.
Covers the stairs here. So you can up and upside down. That way you can walk with the door closed, you don't fall down the stairs. And I think this is here so you can lift it up and just store it out there instead of having to put it away.
Right.
Hi.
Hey, you Matt?
Anything else yet?
Oh yeah.
Oh, God, you're in good hands. You got Kurt. Wonderful. Okay, thank you.
Here's all your paperwork on this. Lots of good reading in there.
Yeah.
And the armrests for the sofa are up here. Now this bed is really interesting.
Alright.
It's got 2 buttons. You know what that one yet? Slide this one forward. Then I'll slide it forward to there. And then slide this one forward. Now, this makes into your bed.
Okay. And the armrest goes right
Then
here.
you can take them armrests and stick them in here. And it covers you up. And when that's open, you pretty much got no room.
Yeah.
Are you okay with going to Laughlin today?
Sure. If we can get all the paperwork done and
Okay.
things, yeah, I'm ready.
I'll have my driver get here in about an hour then.
Okay.
Okay, very good. Thank you.
All right.
Oh, it's cool. I didn't know that's how it worked.
It's actually got 2 buttons to bring it out because it folds up so much. They couldn't do it all in one.
I put some super armor on your tires too for you.
Thank you.
Now this does have a 12-volt kill switch, which is this red button right here. Also this coach disconnect. So when you go to store it, push that red button, it'll pop that up. And if we're not plugged in or the generator's running, it'll kill everything. It'll kill all the 12-volt power to it.
All right.
To reconnect it, just push that back down.
Now, why would I use that? In case of like fire or something?
No, for like when you store it so you don't drain the battery.
Okay.
Things like the radio memory, LP detector, various appliances sometimes will have like
Okay.
a memory and.
So it's not
have a
going to hurt
small
it if you, if you use it on regular.
That's actually what it's for. Is coach battery disconnect.
Okay, great.
There is 30 amp power here. If that is popped out, that's like your charge line. That can trip. So if that's popped out, that's tripped. It just pushes back into reset.
Mm-hmm.
There is a few fuses down in here, and they're kind of labeled. Everything is CO detector, furnace, fridge, water heater, and so forth. And your actual converter is behind there also. You have a panel back here. This is just the back of your water heater. Really, there's not a lot you need to do down in here. Your water pump is down in here in case you need to get to that. And I'll show you a little trick. Sometimes with these style latches, if that happens to get pushed back in, it doesn't latch now. If you get yourself a little screwdriver or something, you can pop them back out and it'll latch.
Oh, okay.
Every now and then, sometimes someone bumps one of them, it gets pushed in, and then it won't latch.
Good to know.
And your AC unit up here. You do have your mode here. On-off button. Set your temperature here. You can put it on a timer. Right now, you got the fan on high, medium, low, and auto. In the auto setting, when it starts getting really warm out, you probably want to go ahead and leave it in like high, just so the compressor is sitting on if it's down below 100, you can probably go ahead and leave it in the auto. Mode here, right now we're in cool. I don't think this one's got a heat setting. There's like a dry, basically it's just a fan only. And then there is a fan. And don't even go to the heat setting.
Oh, that reminds me. Can you show me how the fan works?
Oh, this one here? So lift this one up. There's actually a little switch on it, so it knows when your lid is closed. It's 3-speed, 2, 3, and there is a temperature setting on here. So it will. Sometimes if it doesn't come on, you might want to check the temperature setting. And it looks like it's coming on right about there. So it'll. When it gets to that hot, then it'll turn on and so forth.
And what's that little black knob for?
This here, there's a fuse under that.
Okay.
It's a little glass fuse, it's a 3-volt thick fuse.
Okay.
And it's, I want to say 4 amp. But if you leave it on and you close the lid, the fan will actually turn off itself.
All right.
Okay, we're right down here.
I want to make sure how much fuel is in there. We need to fill it up for you.
Which is my keys, buddy. What's in right here?
They in the fridge?